Become a general of mighty armies at the Kings of War Hub. Take command of elves, dwarves, and orcs in this game of massed fantasy combat on beastsofwar.com. It's time for 28mm World War II action. Will you recreate history or reshape it your way? On the Bolt Action Hub at beastsofwar.com.
Hello, everybody. It is time for another AdeptiCon Talks, and I am joined in the studio, in another studio, far away, not even that far away, really, with our friend Bryan Steele from Cool Mini or Not. And we have Bryan here to spill the beans about something really awesome that is coming out at AdeptiCon. Tell it, or show it, even better. Dun, dun, dun.
To get too much glare there.
Oh, that's awesome.
The brand new, well, not even brand new, AdeptiCon is the first time that people are going to be able to get it if their stores did not pre-order it. The Path to Glory 2-player starter set for Dark Age.
Yes, you heard it.
we've been waiting for it for a while, and due to shipping and manufacturing complications and things, there's always hiccups. But the hiccups are done, indigestion is over, and now we've got our product.
Woo, AdeptiCon, man, file in. That's where you're going to be able to get it, right?
Absolutely. So technically the street date at stores, we're not letting them, actually release it until the 24th. But since AdeptiCon is on the 23rd,
it's so close.
We're letting people slide the 24 hours.
Nice.
If they've got them, if they want to swing by and grab them, they can.
That's awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about what's in the box?
Absolutely. First off, it's our first all plastic product for Dark Age.
Oh boy.
Our models have always been the white metal, or then we do a lot of resin. Mm-hmm. This is the first time that we ever had an entire product, an entire single package in actual plastic.
Nice.
For people who are familiar with Wrath of Kings products, it's that same style of plastic with the peg insert body parts and stuff. So there's really very, very little to do to screw up when you put them together. You don't have to be like a master modeler.
Fiddler extraordinaire. Yeah.
Exactly. So the set comes with pretty much everything you would need to sit down, aside from maybe some glue to put the guys together on their bases. Everything you need to play a game.
Nice.
It comes with a measuring tool, basically just a cardboard or cardstock, thick card measuring tape, effectively. All the templates, all the counters, dice, a quick start, kind of get you to jump into the action rule pamphlet, and a scenario specifically using the models that come in this set, which is actually 2 450-point armies.
Wow.
Well, and considering that our game is based generally around a 500-point army, it's a really good deal to get you started.
Yeah, right? You're right there.
Exactly. Right? You and a friend can easily just, open it up and start playing as soon as you get your guys put together.
That sounds great. I am really looking forward to having a closer look at that. And I am such a fan of the 2-player starter anythings, really, because it's one thing. You always have that one person who gets super pumped about a game and you want to run right out and get it. But then sometimes convincing other people to come along with you, not always the easiest. And a 2-player starter set, you cannot go wrong because you're like, hey, I have this cool stuff. Try it out. And then that's how you hook them. That's how you get them.
Yeah, well, so honestly, because we've had these models, the resculpted ice cast. I almost called them the iron cast.
and I already auto corrected. Yeah.
The resculpted ice cast, and then the forces of Saint Isaac, the Forsaken forces.
Nice.
We've actually had these plastic models as our demo set for about 6 to 8 months, and so it's really a perfect setup for. It's what we've been running at our conventions lately.
Awesome.
When someone comes up to the booth and is like, all right, show me the basics. It's got a little bit of everything. And it's really, again, I'm biased, obviously.
No,
no, not at all. It's a great rule set. And these particular, these models pair well together. you just immediately get into the action and start blowing each other up. So it's good for two people to go. I've always hated if you get into a game and like the first time someone shows you it's extremely one-sided.
Yeah.
Or they say, well, these guys are really good at sitting back and turtling up, and no way. Dark Age isn't about that. It's a super aggressive game. So we wanted to make sure that all the pieces involved needed to get up in each other's faces initially to get a real flavor for the game.
And that's great because, just like you said, you hate to find those boxes where there's clearly one set that everybody wants to play. So then you got to rock, paper, scissors, So it's cool when they're both awesome and you actually want to maybe take turns, try out both sets, and so you can go all in for one in particular if that's what you really want to do, but you can mix it up, and that would be cool.
Yeah, no. So Path to Glory it comes with its own little scenario, but also it comes with little punch out terrain pieces.
Nice.
Now they're 2-dimensional; they're not 3D terrain, but it's the kind of thing that at your kitchen table you could punch all this stuff out and get your test game in.
Right.
And I mean, honestly, for $70, it's $35 a person if you think about it for you and your friend.
Absolutely.
And since again, like 500 points is where we generally have, it's where all of our faction starters, like the side product, all of our faction starters are 500-point products. So at 450, you're one blister away, you're one purchase away from having a full rounded out 500 points.
Which is so nice, because then that's where you take the time to go peruse the cases at AdeptiCon and you'd be like, I like that one, and there you go.
Yeah, no, you've got it. You know how this works.
I know how this works. I've looked at the cases before. It's hard not to drool, and you want everything in the case, which that's more our problem, is that the shiny syndrome totally kicks in and you're like, how do you choose? But see, at least this way, with the 2-player box, it's done a little bit of that limiting for you.
But it at least steers you in the right direction.
Yes. That is super cool.
And then, I mean, so the fact that these are going to be available at AdeptiCon for the first time, I mean, we're always busy at AdeptiCon because of Crystal Brush and all that stuff. But I'm super excited to see more people, more players, because we had a really good response last year from the Wrath of Kings 2-player starter set.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people. The Honor and Treachery set came out initially last year at AdeptiCon, and we saw a lot of people jumping on board with that. So I suspect that we're going to see a lot of people coming by just to see this product and hopefully take one home and start playing.
Absolutely.
Not even home, just go to the tables and start playing.
Right. The tables, back to your hotel room, wherever. That's the beauty of 4 days,
Exactly. It's such a great show. I love that show.
It is a great show, isn't it?
Yeah.
They do such a good job, and it's bringing people together, people that love their miniatures games all together, for the majority of miniatures games. Yes, there's other stuff. Cool Mini has tons of other stuff, for that matter. But yeah, it's bringing everybody together around stuff that they truly love. It brings out such a nice group of people.
For real. Yeah. No, I've been going to AdeptiCon now I used to go as a player before I even got into the whole design and development part of the industry. I used to go to play the 40K and that kind of stuff. So it's always been just a really cool kind of lower key show. I mean, it's grown significantly, but it's always been a fun show to go to. And now that it's also work for me, I get to work and play in the same weekend. So
that's the best. That's the best kind of job, right? Yeah. When you can say that you get to play while you're at your job, that's awesome.
Living the dream.
Absolutely. So, without putting you too much on the spot, any other little tidbits or things that we maybe can be thinking we might see?
I can't give away my trademarked Springtime Secret Super Surprise.
He can neither confirm or deny that.
I cannot neither confirm nor deny, but there's going to be a couple of things that I know people are going to want to come by and talk to me about. And I definitely think that anybody with a camera is going to want to come by to see the case.
Pick us. Yes. We have cameras.
I think you might have some cameras on board.
I think so.
But yeah, I think that people are going to want to pay attention to the case. We're going to set aside a little spot for the brand new and shiny and some cool preview stuff. So I'm really excited. Good. I think It's going to be an awesome show.
Sounds good. Well, he's already put us onto that now, so we will be all over that at the show, and we will for sure. Maybe we'll even be able to arrange a time to like take some goodies out of the case and take some nice pictures and things. Maybe even a little video.
I'll say it here now. If you grab me, because I'll be at the show for this exact purpose. If you grab me and set aside some time, maybe we'll walk you through a couple of those new things.
Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Super exciting. I cannot wait to see how people feel about the set, how it sells. I bet you anything it's going to sell like absolute crazy. The sculpts for Dark Age have just gotten better and better. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. I mean, it like never ceases to amaze me, and it's such a great game, and the characters are so good, and the storyline is great, and it just frankly it blows my mind when you can just see how technology has changed over time and has given the ability to like make the characters even more fabulous. And I said the sculpts are outrageous.
Absolutely. Well, and that's one of the things that we've really been focused on lately is, the game, it's always, we tweak it here and there. We do little, rules revisions and things. But overall, it's stayed more or less the same for quite a while because the rule set's pretty tight. But the biggest thing that we've had to deal with is we have a lot of players that go, some of the model line is looking a little old. It's getting a little dated. A lot of that comes down to the fact that, like you said, technology has changed. The sculptors have gotten better. The casting services themselves, the high pressure resin casting is way better than it used to be. And we really have been focusing over the last couple of years to replace those old minis. And we're starting to do a ton of resculpts. So,
which is cool because those people that are dedicated players for those factions that really want to stay in that, but you're watching some of the newer factions kind of grow and change and look amazing, and you start wavering on that line with, boy, do I jump ship and do I get into another faction just because they look so amazing, And when you guys can step up like that and say, hey, look. Ta-da! We're going to fancy things up a little bit for you, bring things up to speed. That's where you keep people in there. That's the sweet spot.
Well, one of the things that I've been trying to do my best as far as any time that we do design changes or anything like that is we've got a lot of fans that have been with us a long time.
Sure.
And those fans, even though they've got, I want them to want to buy the new sculpts because they're pretty and they're awesome. But I do my heart as far as I possibly have the power. What's in my power, if I can get this out of my mouth, is I don't ever want somebody to go, oh, things have changed. I can't use this model anymore.
Yeah.
So if someone's got the old stuff, they can still totally use it. The rules are there for them. We're hoping that people see the case and go, man, mine look a little dumb compared to the new hotness.
Yeah.
So that's, we do our best to make the game fancy and shiny and new, but for the players, the rules are also still super important to us. So
awesome. How about events at the show? A lot of Dark Age?
A lot of Dark Age. I got some Wrath of Kings too. But
both have grown really, right? Over the last couple of years, I mean, things have been added, which is also a really nice thing to see. It's pulling the people in.
Yeah, at AdeptiCon, as far as I know, we've got a bunch of special scenarios that we're running.
Sure.
For both games, but for me personally, what to keep your eye on is we've got 2 of the March to Immortality tournaments, a 500 point and a 750 point, I believe. I'm 90% sure on that. I have to check with our events guy. But we're running 2 of the March to Immortality tournaments that if you win those, you get, I have one to show you.
Oh, yay.
If I can get it. You get a blood guilt. I'm going to get that a little closer to the camera.
Awesome. Look at that.
And if anybody watches the Beasts of War videos,
we did just talk about that, didn't we? Yep.
Did you see Vader and his blood guilt?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
I snuck that onto when we were doing
that was slick
videos. I snuck that onto. So you get one of those coins, which is an actual metal physical representation of the money from our world.
Awesome.
And if you bring a Blood Guilt with you to the CMoN Expo in Atlanta over May 10th, May 11th through the 14th, or through the 13th. Sorry, I had to look at my schedule.
It's not like you're going to be there or anything, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
no.
not like but yeah, if you go with a Blood Guilt and you show it to us, we don't take it from you. We might stamp it or something, but you'll have it. If you show it to us, you can actually play in the Immortals tournament. And if you play in the Immortals tournament and win, not only everybody gets something cool for playing in Immortals, but if you win, we actually immortalize you. We work with you to create a figure either for yourself or a family member or an idea that you have.
That is too cool.
We work you into the story. We create a model for you. We've done it 9 times in the past.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. Just another reason to get involved, right?
Absolutely. And it's fun for me as a designer and the manager of the line, because when someone wins these Immortals tournaments, getting to sit down with them and be like, all right, so what would you want to make?
Right.
And sometimes it is a curveball.
Yeah, right. And you're like, ooh, never thought about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was my job. And then it's my job to figure out how to get them into the story and have it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
so that's an interesting question. Out of the 9 times that you guys have had to do that, how often has something like that happened?
To my knowledge, there has only been really 2 figures that needed, I don't want to say like a mass tweak to their background, but like a full-on, we had to do something major to the faction that they wanted to be part of.
Oh, no kidding.
And one of them very recently, our Immortals figure that came out for the core, the Lightbringer, was Aaron Bame's figure. He wanted to make rather than making himself as the figure, he wanted to make his kind of online persona.
That's cool.
And so we adjusted how the entire core faction worked to not only bring their rules up to speed, because again, we like to tweak the rules for the game anyway, but it gave us a really cool narrative reason to have this sudden massive change for these robots fighting for years. That
is pretty awesome. It's one thing for a company to say, oh yeah, we'll make a mini for you, but the fact that you're willing to kick it up a notch and adjust a faction as a whole to incorporate it, that's taking it to a whole new level. I mean, that takes it from like really cool to really special, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. No, really, that's pretty awesome.
So, funny story, the actually very first Immortal winner, the Chris I'm going to butcher his last name. We call him Hodge. Because his character he created was Warlord Hodge, and we didn't know how to fit him in, so that's actually how the Outcast faction got created.
That's a fun fact. Yeah.
Basically, there wasn't a real good way to fit him into any of the existing factions and make it feel right. So the Outcasts were born. They kind of were born out of Hodge's idea.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so the Immortals is a great thing, and so at AdeptiCon, you get your stuff. If you get a Path to Glory box and 1 blister of something to kind of bring you up to 500 points or close to, then you can come out and play in one of the Immortals and see what happens. The MTI tournaments are always a lot of fun, and I plan to attend both of them. Not as a player, obviously.
That's awesome. Well, that'll be something I will definitely pick your brain about when we are at the show, because maybe you can point us in the direction of a couple real solid contenders as far as those tournaments go. And we will keep an eye on those folks throughout the weekend. I think people would really enjoy that. Well, Bryan, it has been a pleasure. I cannot wait to catch up with you at the show. We cannot wait to have a look at the case, let me tell you what. And have a look at that starter box. But thank you so much for making time for us and for filling everybody in. We appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you there.
Absolutely. So guys, AdeptiCon, pretty soon we will be there. We will be live blogging the whole weekend long. Like I said, this is your opportunity to ask questions, get things on our list. If there's something that you want to hear more about, make sure you comment below. Let us know, and we will be making our long list, and we will chase it down for you while we're at the show. And until then, we will see you soon.
Progress comes to a world of magic as science and the arcane combine to make marvels. Meet steampunk inventors and orc mystics at the Volsun Hub on beastsofwar.com. From Viking halls to the cities of the future, terrain buffs will love our foreground hub. Watch gaming tables of all genres come to life at beastsofwar.com.